And this narrative is built on a powerful but limiting idea. And it's the mindset of scarcity. It's the belief that there's only so much to go around, right? So much funding, so many customers, so much success that a person can have. Well, this mindset leads to fear, competition, and a very narrow focus on what it is we lack.
So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever it may be, wherever you may be at this minute right now. So, welcome to the Infinite Wisdom Experience, where every week we deliver brilliance at the speed of thought. We're honored to be here with you and to be sharing this with all of you energetic, ambitious visionaries of tomorrow. You are the architects of our economy, and you are the dreamers and the doers that make it happen. So let me start by being brutally honest. Being an architect of business, it isn't easy. And often we're told to focus on the hard numbers, the bottom line, the market share. We're taught to compete, to fight for limited resources, and to brace for failure. All of these stemming from the primal animal that we are. And the statistics can be sobering because, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, about half of all new businesses fail within the first 5 years, and 70% fail within the first decade. And the primary reason for this is often cash flow issues. It's a classic problem of basically not enough. Sound familiar?
Well, and this narrative is built on a powerful but limiting idea. And it's the mindset of scarcity. It's the belief that there's only so much to go around, right? So much funding, so many customers, so much success that a person can have. Well, this mindset leads to fear, competition, and a very narrow focus on what it is we lack, right? But what if we could flip the script? What if instead of fighting for the small piece of the pie, that we realize, hey, we could just bake a bigger one, right? This is the essence of an enlightened abundance mindset. It's a shift in perspective that allows you to see opportunities where everybody else sees obstacles. It's the understanding that success is not an infinite resource, but an expanding, sorry, not a finite resource, but an expanding universe of possibilities, right? So research shows that 88% of executives actually believe a growth mindset is a critical factor for organizational success. And 80% agree that it directly contributes to revenue growth. Where do you fit on that scale, right? Well, how important do you feel it is? Well, today we want to expand our definition of abundance beyond just the balance sheet. We want to introduce you to five primary forms of abundance that are all around us. Now, there's many different kinds, but these are five primary forms that are all around us, waiting to be harnessed. And by understanding and cultivating these forms of abundance, we can attract the opportunities that allow our businesses and our lives to truly thrive.
All right, so let's get right to it. So, the most foundational, yet most and often overlooked asset that you possess is your imagination. And that's the first abundance factor. As children, our imaginations were limitless. We could build castles in the sky and solve problems like superheroes. But as we become experienced adults, we often replace imagination with what we know, with established processes and the way things are done. and we stop seeing what could be and only see what is. In business, imagination is not childish daydreaming, it's a strategic tool. It's the ability to envision possibilities beyond the present reality, to see a future that doesn't exist yet. It's that it's what allowed Steve Jobs to see a world where technology was not just powerful, but beautiful and accessible to everyone. And that led to groundbreaking products like the iPhone. And he saw opportunities where others simply saw limitations. Imagination is the engine, the actual engine of innovation. When we foster a culture of curiosity and imagination, we empower our teams to challenge the status quo, to experiment without fear of failure, and to find groundbreaking solutions. It's about asking, what if? What if we could redefine our industry? What if we could solve our customers' biggest problem in a way that no one has thought of before? So, our challenge, your challenge, is that is it's this. It's schedule a time for imagination. Protect it. Whether it's a 30 minutes a week of blue sky thinking or encouraging your team to pitch wild ideas, you must cultivate it. Because as Albert Einstein said, imagination is more important than knowledge, for knowledge is limited, whereas imagination embraces the entire world, stimulating progress. So your next breakthrough is not in a spreadsheet, it's in your imagination. I mean, we cover this in depth in our Money, Abundance, and Spirituality and the 10 laws to having it all you could ever want. And that's one of our master labs. I will put the link in the comments, but you should check it out.
And, so imagination is amazing. And when we add that to some of these other forms of abundance, again, it just becomes limitless. And so the second one is, second abundance factor is synchronicity. And it's a form of abundance that's a little bit more mysterious, right? It's one of our favorite topics. Synchronicity is something that comes in many different ways, and that many people might dismiss as luck or coincidence. So Carl Jung defined it as experiences of meaningful coincidences where seemingly unrelated events connect in a significant way. So think about this. Have you ever had a day where you're struggling with a major problem and then you run into, like an old colleague at a coffee shop or who just happened to have the perfect solution, right? Or you mention a specific, niche needed, and then the person you're talking to says, "Oh, you won't believe this, but my wife is a recruiter for that exact role." Right? Well, that's synchronicity in action. It shows up in a variety of different ways. Right? We actually have a master lab on that as well. Right? There are random lucky breaks. They are the universe conspiring in your favor. But here's the key: synchronicity isn't passive. It happens to leaders who are open, who are aware, and who are actively engaging with the world around them. So what that means is that it requires that you you work with the things that are all around you, open up your receptive receivers, right? Have a learner's mind, and you remain open to input and insights from everywhere. Okay, and it's the in Forbes. There's a Forbes article. It's the learner's mind, right? In martial arts, we call it the beginner's mind. And you just go in like a white belt. I don't know anything. Find out what do I need to know? Can I do something new? How can I do something different? Right? And in that receptivity, in that space of receptivity, you start to notice these synchronicities. So you start to cultivate synchronicity because you're aware of the things that you need from the universe, right? So how do you do it? Well, you be crystal clear on the problem that you're trying to solve. Then you be genuinely curious about others and look for ways to help them. And then in solving someone else's problems, many times the solution to your own actually appears, right? And you think about it, true leadership, it's about participating in the creation of new circumstances, not just being the victim of them. So when you're open and attuned, you begin to see the invisible threads connecting people, ideas, and opportunities. And you start to see around corners.
So, Gary, I'm going to throw a little question in here about this. So, in this day and age of technology, how do you feel that synchronicity can kind of get skewed as far as, your phone's listening to you? I'm going to pop up this ad or,
Yeah, well, I think that there is that. It's just the algorithm showing up. And there
right,
may be some elements of that, but if you think that you're putting out the energy for that thing in verbiage, in action that you do, you're putting that out to the universe and it's coming back to you. Because here's the thing, the algorithm can work all at once, but if you don't put attention on it, you don't you you don't become aware of it, right? If you're not open and receptive to that, it could go right by you and you wouldn't know it. So there's that. Your part of your receptivity is a key component to that synchronicity occurring.
great. All right, cool. So, the third part, the third form of abundance is exchange. Where we hear exchange in business, we immediately think of a transaction, money for a product or money for a service. And although true, abundant exchange is so much more. It's rooted in a simple, powerful principle. Voluntary exchange creates more value for both parties, not a zero sum game. Okay. So the very first exchange, probably in undocumented history, is I'm going to give you this rock for that stick. Okay, so both parties looked at what was coming across is that I value that stick, I value that rock. Perfect exchange. It was a win-win. So an abundance mindset reframes exchange from what can I get to what can I give. It's about creating value for others, knowing that this is the most sustainable way to build value for yourself. Think about the exchange of knowledge, the exchange of support, of connections. When you freely share your expertise, introduce two people who could benefit from knowing each other, or mentor someone starting out, you're engaging in a higher form of exchange. And this principle is about building relationships, not just closing deals. It creates a foundation of trust and goodwill that pays dividends in unexpected ways. Whether you operate from a place of generous exchange or you build a powerful network that wants to see you succeed, opportunities and resources flow to those who are seen as givers. So look at your business relationships. Are they purely transactional or are they based on a mutual exchange of value? So focus on how you can help your clients, your employees, and even your competitors be more successful. Because this creates a ripple effect of abundance that can and will inevitably return to you.
And it leads right into the next form of abundance, and that is blessing. So it's the fourth form of abundance that we're talking about here, and it's all around right now, right? It's the abundance of blessings, which we access through the practice of gratitude. In the relentless pursuit of growth, it's easy to focus on what's wrong because there's lots of that people focus on out there. What's missing or what our competitors are doing. Gratitude shifts our focus from what we lack to what we already have. It's a simple, radical act of appreciating the abundance that already exists in the world, in our lives, and in our business. And this this isn't just a feel good exercise. It's actually a powerful business strategy. Studies have shown that gratitude increases resilience, increases determination, and it increases your energy. So, a daily gratitude practice can actually make you happier and more productive. So, when you are grateful, you preserve through tough times your energy, your focus, your motivation, and you persevere because you have that kind of perspective, right? Think about it. Be grateful for the clients you already have, right? And you build deeper loyalty. Be grateful for your team, and you'll foster a positive culture where people feel valued and motivated. And you do this by just celebrating small wins, right? The lessons that you get from the failures that happen and the progress that you've made. So, as one entrepreneur put it, is keeping an eye out for the next opportunity and doing all in your power to be ready for it is a perpetual signal of gratitude. It's an invisible force that goes out into the world and attracts like-minded people and opportunities. So what you put out in a form of gratitude actually returns in the form of blessings, so that your success and your enthusiasm actually grow side by side. So we challenge you to start and end each day by identifying at least three things that you're grateful for in your life, in your business, in your relationships. It's a simple act that actually rewires your brain for abundance and keeps you focused on what truly matters.
Perfect. And finally, we arrive at the form of abundance that we all recognize: money, coin, currency. We live in a world that often teaches us that money is scarce and that you have to fight for it, and that someone else's gain is your loss. An abundance mindset sees money differently. It's not something to be chased, it's a result. It's the natural consequence of creating immense value through your imagination, being open to synchronicity, engaging in generous exchange, and being grateful for your blessings. To attract financial abundance, you must first clear out your own limiting beliefs about money. Stop thinking, I can't afford that, and start thinking and asking yourself, how can I afford that? Because you see, money as a tool for growth, contribution, and seeking positive impact, not as the end goal in itself. Manifesting more money in your business starts with getting crystal clear on your goals and why you want to achieve them. It requires that you act from a place of abundance, not fear. For example, instead of hoarding resources, you invest in your team and your business's growth. A good example is Howard Schultz of Starbucks. For instance, he offered health insurance and stock options to part-time workers, believing that investing in his people would lead to greater business success. And it did. And when you focus on other four forms of abundance, the money follows. When you use your imagination to create incredible products, when you are open to the synchronicities that bring you the right partners, when you build a network based on valuable exchange, and when you are grateful for every step of the journey, you create a powerful magnetic field for financial success.
Right. So there you have it. Those are the five forms of abundance: imagination, synchronicity, exchange, blessings, and money. Again, not the only form, they're just the five primary forms that we're bringing to your attention today, right? And they're not separate silos in and of themselves. They're actually interconnected, right? As Raj talked about, each one feeding and amplifying the other. So you can, if you feel that you don't have enough money, then focus on imagination. If you feel you're not very creative in your imagination, then look for synchronicities. If you're not really tuned into that thing, then start to find ways to give exchange for what you're doing, and or be aware of the blessings that are showing up for you in the form of gifts or contributions or whatever it is, and that will ripple into the others. So your success as an individual, as an entrepreneur, as an executive, as a business owner is not just dictated by the market conditions or your strategic plans. It's dictated by your mindset. So you can choose to see a world of limits, or you can choose to see a world of endless possibilities. Still your choice. You can be a victim of your circumstances, or you can be an architect of your abundance. What do you choose? Right? Our money, abundance, and spirituality master lab, the 10 laws of how you to having all you could ever want. That master lab delivers a unique form of conditioning for your mind, body, and spirit to allow the flow of money into your life with more joy, more acceptance, and more ease. So you'll gain a newfound sense of security and abundance, knowing that everything you want and everything you need can and will be provided to you. We're going to drop that link in the comments as well. Just check that out. Really amazing program for you. Right. So let's get
Okay,
into the abundance micro hack there, Ross.
that's right. So here's a simple, powerful exercise that integrates the VAR laws. We'll call them VAR. And uh, and they're going to integrate those with the universe. It's a concept. It's designed to be done in just a few minutes. So this whole the universe resonant practice. So we've talked about these powerful forms of abundance, but how do we actively cultivate them? Not just think about them. You're cultivating. You don't just think about growing a garden. You cultivate it. And I want to introduce you to the practical framework called the VAR laws: vibration, alignment, and resonance, and a core concept that we call the universe. The idea of the universe is it's simple. We are not separate from the universe, nor asking it for things. We are the universe experiencing itself. Your consciousness, your energy, your very being is an inseparable part of the whole. You are the universe. You get that? How powerful that is? Because we get stuck in the idea everything we want is out there, it's all external, out there somewhere. Attracting abundance isn't about pulling something from the outside in, it's about activating a reality that already exists within the universe, within you. And this exercise is simple: 3 minutes, practice this and do just that. So, all right. So I'd like everyone to participate in a short, powerful exercise that Gary and I, with Gary and I. So you can do this with your eyes open or closed, whatever feels most comfortable for you. Just take a moment to get settled into your seat. Okay, just relax, breathe, take some deep breaths in, just relax, place both feet flat on the floor, and let your hands just rest gently at your side or in your lap. Gary, let's get it done.
All right. So the first thing, step one, you want to do is activate your vibration. So I want you to bring your mind to one specific tangible goal that you want to achieve in your business or in your life right now. Okay. Now don't be vague. Instead, instead of more success, maybe it's signing that one key client or successfully launching your new product or hiring the perfect COO. Whatever it is, get that one clear goal in mind. And I want you to imagine that it's already done, that it's complete. Imagine that it happened this morning, or if you listen to this in the evening, this evening, whenever it is. I want you to feel the emotion of that success as if and it's the feeling of profound relief, maybe, right? Finally got it done. Or it's the electric excitement of, yeah, it's done. Or it's just the quiet confidence of accomplishment. Whatever that is for you, don't just think about it. I want you to feel it in your body and let the emotion, that high frequency feeling of it being done, fill you up. Okay? And this is your vibration. Hold that feeling just for a moment. Then, step two, you're going to anchor your alignment, right? So now, while holding that feeling, I'd like you to take one hand and place it over your heart, and the other hand over your gut, your solar plexus. This physical act is an anchor, and you're bringing that feeling from your mind into your body, and you're creating alignment. Your thoughts, which is your goal, right? Your emotions, that feeling of success, and your physical self are becoming one, in one pointed in the same direction. With your hands in place, silently repeat the phrase to yourself, or even verbally if you have the ability to do it out loud. The universe and I are one, and I am in perfect alignment with this reality. It is done. And then feel the truth of that statement, right? You're not asking for permission here. You are declaring a state of being. You are declaring a reality, and you are in full alignment with it. And then the third step is the resonance, right? Once you've done that, then you can relax your hands, return them, the palms to your lap in a positive of receiving. So your hands up in a positive receiving positioning. Then take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, I want you to release the how. Just let it go. Release the need to control every step, right? Your job was just to set the vibration, create the alignment, and now just become the beacon and radiate that frequency. This is resonance, right? Like a tuning fork. You are now vibrating at the frequency of your success. The law of resonance states that you, the universe, YOU universe, must bring people, ideas, synchronicities that match that frequency, right? And so your final step is to simply trust and be open. Silently say, I am now a magnet for all the opportunities that match this reality. I'm ready to receive. And then take another deep breath and exhale. And if your eyes were closed, you can open your eyes. If your eyes were open, just
That's
start to
fine.
become aware of what's around you. Start to tune into the synchronicities.
So what we just did in those few minutes, this few minutes in this microcosm of how manifestation works. You generate a specific energetic signal, vibration. You brought your entire being into harmony with that signal, alignment, and then you released it, trusting the universe to match your signal with a corresponding reality, resonance. This isn't just wishful thinking. On a practical level, you've just primed your brain. Your reticular activating system, the part of your brain that filters information, is now subconsciously scanning your environment for anything related to your goal. And you will start literally starting to see opportunities that were invisible to you before. You will notice synchronicities.
Yeah, and all you have to do is make this a 2 to 3 minute ritual that you do regularly, right? We suggest one time in the morning, one time in the evening is a good time to do it, but you can also do it in your office before you start your day. You can do it in your car before a big meeting. You could even do it just before you get into the house at the end of your day before connecting with your loved ones, right? Bottom line is, as you head back to your flow of your day, just remember this: you're not stuck managing what is. Every time you tune into another infinite wisdom experience, you're actually tapping into the conscious curator of what can be. That's right. You're not just running a business or balancing your life. You are tuning into your highest frequency and shaping your very own custom designed timeline. So thanks for hanging out with us. Whether you're live or on the replay, we see you, we appreciate you, and we are honored to be part of your evolution. And of course, we leave you with our favorite dare. And we dare you to stop chasing normal and start chasing the pathways to extraordinary today, tomorrow, and every day after that. And the most reliable way to get there is to implement what you learn and learn from what you implement. Okay. We're talking about showing up fully now. Messy, inspired, unsure, bold, whatever version you got in the tank today. Start now. Start where you are. Let the future version of you start whispering the steps to you. Listen, tune in, respond. Once again, we thank you for trusting us with your time and your energy. We'll be back next week here on the Infinite Wisdom Experience with more light, more clarity, more tools to help you tune into your most abundant future. So until then, keep showing up for your infinite self. Thanks, everyone. Be
Thank
well.
you, everyone. See you then.